Good morning and welcome back to my channel, Forever Babies and More. Today, as promised, I said that I would film a video on how I add weight to the babies and post it into a couple of Facebook groups. I think just one maybe. But it's also something I wanted to start adding onto my channel. So I posted a video about this baby that's right here in front of me. I think I did. I don't remember if I did or not now. I'm sorry. It's early in the morning. I just woke up about a half hour, 45 minutes ago, and I just made my first cup of coffee. So, forgive me if I'm a little foggy. But anyway, I did post a video now that I'm thinking about it. So I got this baby number 13. And when I got him, he was extremely shiny. Like, beyond shiny. I couldn't even... I don't know. I think he had too much of something on him. But last night, I posted a couple of pictures of him in one of the reborn groups that I'm in on Facebook, which is All Dolls Matter, run by Stephanie and Jackie Ortiz from In Love with Reborns 2011. They made it's their Facebook group, and a couple people told me what I should do. So they suggested that I get I'm gonna put him over here for a minute. This ultra matte finish AK, and you have to shake it really, really well before you use it. And then you lightly paint it on with a little paintbrush. And then you have to do it in like even layers, otherwise it looks messed up. And then you just use these makeup sponges, and you just dab all around in that area that you just excuse me, that you just painted the varnish on. And this is how he came out. He is not shiny at all anymore. He actually feels really good. He's got a nice smooth feel to him. There are some areas where there's still a little bit of shininess that I can touch up. But as of right now, he looks like he was just painted by an artist. You can see the mottling on his legs a little bit. So, and for his size, he shouldn't be in a size 1 diaper. That's what this is. So, I'm going to weight him and show you how I do that. So first you're gonna need these are 6-inch zip ties. So you're gonna need these. They're very small. Let me show you on the camera. They're very small. Okay. So you're gonna need those. And then for the head, I realized that the 6-inch zip ties are not long enough. So for the head, you'll need the 8-inch zip ties. Again, they are the same width as the 6-inch, but they're just slightly longer. And then to get all the cotton out of the limbs, which I don't think he has any in him, I will check that out when I take him apart. Excuse me, sorry. Allergies. It's yesterday and for the past couple of days, it's been like in the 30s and 40s. Now, today, it's supposed to be in the 60s, so my sinuses are all messed up. But I've got my trusty cup of coffee, so I'm good. And it's mushroom coffee. Okay, so what you're gonna need for... So you need those zip ties. You're gonna need knee highs, which I got. And I double them when I put the glass beads in them because I don't know if it's because of the... I don't know if it's because of the type of glass beads that I got, but when I use just one, the glass beads come right out of it. So I double it, and then I'll tie it. I'll show you how I do it when I'm ready to do that part. So then I have this extra box here. This is what the first box of glass beads came in, and this is what that's the box. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $28 for the box. This is just has some extra stuffing in it, just in case I need it. And then I highly recommend getting these extra long tweezers. There's this part that has the bent tip, which it's supposed to be that way. And then there's a regular pair of tweezers, but they're very long. So I recommend getting those. And then you're also going to need... Now, some people would cut the zip ties and reuse and then use brand new ones. If you have to do that, go ahead and do that. But if you don't need to do that, I recommend a eyeglass screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. It's not really focusing on that. Okay, and a smaller pair of tweezers, and I will show you why. So on the back, so it looks like his zip ties were cut. So let me show you on a actual zip tie. So on the zip tie, when you tie it, you see the little notch inside there? All you have to do is put the little screwdriver underneath that to pry it open, and then pull the zip tie, and it will come undone. If you can't get that undone that way, you can go ahead and cut it. But I recommend that you do get the right tools before you cut them, and the right zip ties before you cut them. Alright, so I'm going to be fixing him so that he wears a size newborn diaper. He's a bit dirty because I had him pretty much down to his cloth body last night while I was putting the varnish on him. So what I'm going to do with him, since he has a little butt, I'm going to put one small amount of glass beads in each butt cheek to weight him that way. Or I usually will take out a good portion of the cotton, usually from about here up, and I will place the glass beads in the center of his body, and then put the cotton all around that. So I will show you how I'm going to do that. Let me take out the zip tie first. So I'm just going to take the zip tie, and I'm just going to take the flathead screwdriver. Sorry, let me turn it closer to me so you guys can see this. So I'm going to take the flathead screwdriver, just like this, and I'm going to place it behind that little notch. Now this zip tie is very tight in there, so I may need to actually cut this one. Yes, I'm going to have to cut it. I can't get my tweezers in there, so I'm just going to take my scissors. When you're going to cut it, make sure you're, oh my goodness, this is really tight in there. Okay, how am I going to cut this? If if I can't even see the zip tie. Give me a minute, sorry. This guy is tighter than I'm used to. So let's see, without breaking him or cutting him. This zip tie is really tight in there. Good lord, they really don't want people to take these apart. I don't know how I'm gonna get that. I might need, also, one of these multi-tool things also comes in handy when you need to, get in small spaces. Alright, I don't want to use my knife. I'll use the little scissors on this. So I'm just going to use the little scissors and cut just a tiny little bit. Okay, my little scissors are dull, so that's not going to work. I'm just going to cut a tiny little slit in the cloth body where the zip tie is. I've done this before, so it doesn't bother it. Just so I can get to the actual zip tie itself to cut it. Okay, so I got to the zip tie. I don't think I can get my, I can't even, what the heck? Alright, I'm going to try again to get the zip tie out. Now that I'm going to try not to make this video too long. But it is a long process, especially when the zip ties are cut. Okay, I think I got it. Alright, so I got my tweezers underneath the zip tie now. My smaller pair of tweezers. Okay. Alright. I had to cut it. That's what that pop sound was. I had to cut the zip tie because I could not get it undone the conventional way. Alright, so that's that zip tie. Now his head is off. I'm going to add a little bit of weight. Wow, that's interesting. He's got a little plastic cover in there, which I think, which is really good actually, because that will help keep the glass beads in his head. Okay, so let's start with his head first. Let me get my, alright, my trusty glass beads are open. And now I'm going to take the pair of tweezers. I like to use these, the ones with the angle on them. So you take that in there, you grab a hold of the cotton, and I like to twist it. So it twists it all around the tweezers, and then it helps you be able to pull out almost all of it at once. So that was all of it. And now the inside of the head is empty. Okay. Okay. So then I'm going to grab my other box of glass beads. And since his head is really little and he's a newborn, I'm not going to put a whole lot of glass beads in his head. And so I'm only going to fill his head. I tilt the head this way so the back of the head is heavy. And then I'm going to stuff it with extra cotton, more than what I just pulled out of his head. So I'm going to take my little scoop here. The glass beads do not come with a scoop, just so you know. I'm using one that I already had on hand. So then you just take the glass beads, pour it into his head. So that was one scoop. Sorry if you hear birds. My window is open because it's really nice today. Here's scoop number 2. Scoop number 3. And if there's any static electricity or anything like that while you're doing this, the glass beads will stick to everything. And they're a pain in the butt to clean up, so try not to spill any if you're working on a soft surface like I am on my bed. So this was number 4. Now I'm gonna... Alright, his head is a little bit heavy, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more glass beads. Probably about a half a scoop. And that should be enough. Perfect. Maybe a slight bit more. There we go. Alright, so I'm done with the glass beads. Put the head down. And now I'm going to stuff his head again. So you can take the cotton you just pulled out, or the polyfill that you just pulled out. Now there's going to be a void in there because there's not enough. So this is where my extra box of polyfill comes in. So I'm just going to pack his head with polyfill, but not enough, not to the point where I can't put this plug back in, but just enough. Okay, see that one? That bit had glass beads in it. Put this down. Some of this polyfill I pulled out of Liam when I redid him. He's actually a lot heavier now. A lot. Okay, so he's about 10 pounds now. Alright, I'm thinking that maybe I should... No. I was going to glue the little thing back in place again, but I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so... You kind of want to push the polyfill in so that it holds the glass beads in place. And wherever you feel a void when you're pushing it in, try to fill that void with more polyfill. Alright, so that's done. Now I'm just going to replace this cap and put it back in place again. Uh-oh, it doesn't want to stay. I don't want that to come out. So I think what I'm going to do... I didn't want to do it, but I think I should. Where are you? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Alright. This is super glue. So I'm just going to glue this little cap back into place. I didn't want to, but I think I'm going to have to. So I'm just going to put a little dab here. Little dab here. Little dab here. And that should be enough. And now I want to hold it where I didn't put any super glue. Be very careful when you're using super glue, because it sticks really fast. And once it's in place, there's no removing it. And I got some on my finger. I think. Maybe not. Oh, yes, I did. It's on my finger. I hate super glue. No, come on. Don't do that. Alright, what I'm gonna do... Let me... So that's gonna keep coming up. Alright, just until it completely sets, I'm going to tape it down. And once it's fully set, I'll take the tape off. Alright, it's starting to set. So I'm just going to put the head off to the side over there so I can move on to the next part. For now, while that dries, now I'm going to show you how I do the head. This video is probably going to be pretty long just because I can't edit it. I can't fast forward things, blah, blah, blah. So it's raw footage. So whatever you see is what you see. So now I'm going to take most of the polyfill out of his body. Okay. Make sure to get out of the shoulders. He's got a different type of polyfill in him. So that should be good. Let me see. Okay, that should be enough. So now, put the body off to the side, and I'm gonna grab 2 of these. Oops, that was 3. 2 stockings. Get off my, it stuck to my finger. There we go. 2 stockings. Then I take one and I slide it on my hand. Like that. Then I take the other one and do the same thing. Be careful not to rip the stocking. So now you have 2 in your hand. Okay? You're going to grab them both and pull off. And then now you have 2 inside of each other. So then I'm going to grab my glass beads. And I'm going to, hang on, slide this out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. take the cup, pour the glass beads into the stockings. Depending how much you want the baby to weigh, that's how much you put in. So when you, I have to try to keep count of how many I put in. So this is, oh, see, I just spilt it all over myself. That's number 3. It's okay. I got the vacuum close by. I'll do that afterwards, though. After I end the video. So that was number 3. So it's still kind of light. So and you want to remember that you don't want to make the body too heavy, because when you put, you gotta remember that when you're gonna be putting the glass beads in the rest of the body, like the arms, the legs, and stuff like that. So, alright, so that's, I'm gonna add one more. I think this would be number 5. Okay, that's one more. Alright, take the box down. So then, now you have the glass beads in here. And this is why, no, Chewy, this is why I double it. Because, so I'm going to pinch it down here. And I'm going to tie it off. This is why, you'll see, okay, so now you have a knot in there. Then you're going to take what you have left over here. Bring it all the way down past the knot. And tuck it in again. And the reason I do this is because you can't see, well, yeah, you can. Right here, this white stuff here, that's not polyfill. That's glass beads. It comes out of this. That's why I do what I just did. It helps hold the glass beads in place. So then I'm going to tie it again. Just like that. So now you have a sandbag. The glass beads will still come through, but not as bad. And now you're going to take your sack of glass beads and you're just going to slide it in the top of the body. Place it right in the middle. Try to aim more towards the back, but right in the middle. Okay? And now you're going to take the polyfill that you just pulled out and start putting it back in around that sack of glass beads. Oh my goodness, this polyfill is way more difficult to deal with. Good Lord. It's just like falls apart in my hand. Okay. So you want to just kind of tuck it around that little sack. Give it enough support. That way when, you know, people are holding it or when you're holding it, you don't feel the sack in there. Oh boy. Okay, then you just kind of want to feel around. So I'm feeling around in the stomach, and here you can see there's a little bit of an indent there. That means there's not enough polyfill down there. So I'm just going to work my polyfill down there. Okay, so now there's not that little there's barely a void there anymore. Okay? Now, you want enough polyfill to be up by the head and the shoulders, so that it supports the head. Now, don't worry about the shoulder part, because when you take the arms off, before you put them on, you can add polyfill by the shoulders that way. So, okay, so now his body's done. It's weighted. He feels a little heavy. I can't feel the glass beads, the sack of glass beads, so he's good. So now I'm going to take a 8-inch zip tie, and I should be able to take this tape off now, as the super glue should be dry. I just have to be careful that I don't get it on myself, because if I get super glue on myself, I have nothing to take it off with. So, alright, that's done. Okay, so that little cap glued in pretty good. Now what I do is, I like to feed the zip tie through the neck ring, the neck part, before I put the head on. Is this the right? Nope, I grabbed the wrong one. Did I? No. Alright, well this is the right one. Sometimes okay, so it's not coming through all the way to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and work it. There we go. Alright, so now I have it, and I'm just going to put it through slightly, and then I'm just going to work the head in, if I can't. Nope, that didn't work. Alright. This is where it gets a little tricky. I may need a... No, I don't. No, I don't. Oh, I don't. Get back here. Okay. Ah! Okay. No, 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 no. Okay. Alright, so start the zip tie, closing it. Make sure you can turn his head freely without the neck part looking like it's going to come out. So, I'm just going to tighten it a tiny bit more. Should still be able to freely move his head. Yes. Okay, so that's done. The head is done. Now I can move on to the arms and the legs. Cut that little extra piece off. And then still some on there. Okay. There. So the head is done now. And because I rearranged... I don't need the stockings anymore. Oops, sorry, Julie. Because I rearranged the polyfill in his head is... And in his body, and I added weight to his head is now floppy. Alright, so let's put him down. so that I can get to the arm ring. These are a lot harder to work with. Mm-mm. Alright, let me get my tweezers underneath here. Okay, got that zip tie undone, but I'm gonna need to put another one in there because that one's been cut and I can't use it again. So with the arms and legs, you will just need to use the 4-inch zip ties. You won't need the bigger ones because it's a smaller ring. So again, I guess these do have polyfill inside of them, as you can see. So I'm just going to take the tweezers, like I said, push it in there, twist it around, see how it's coming out on the thing. Then you're just going to pull it, just like that. And there's obviously more in there, so I'm going to take the tweezers, push it down in there again. Grab a hold of that polyfill, I can feel it between the tweezers, and twist. You'll feel some resistance while you're twisting, but that's a good thing, because you're twisting and it's coming out, and then you can pull the remainder of that cotton out. So now there's no cotton in his hand at all, or arm. So now, I'm going to grab my glass beads again, and you want to fill the arm just up to about here, up to just about his shoulder, and then you're going to pack the hole in here. You're going to pack it with polyfill to make it extra tight. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch that. So while you're putting the glass beads in the arms, you're going to want to tilt it so you can put them in there. This is scoop number 2. Okay, then you're just going to tap it along the side, just like that, to make sure the glass beads settle and go down into the arm. Oh, crap. I knew that was going to happen. That's okay. This is the reason why I used a tray. So now I can take this out of the way. And I can take the tray and put all those glass beads that I just dropped back in the bag. And put this back in there. Well, now that I did that, I lost track of how many scoops I put in there, but that's okay. I know how much to put in there. Alright, so right now the glass beads are just about up to here. So this is probably going to be too much, so I'm just going to dump a little bit back in there. Alright. So now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but there's the line where the glass beads are. You can see it right in there. Now, like I said, you're going to take the polyfill and you're just going to cram it in there. This stuff is... You want to pack it in there really good because you don't want any of these glass beads to come out inside the body or out from around the ring. Out of its arm, out of the baby's arm. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. Okay. So his arm is packed. And it's been weighted. So this video is already 41 minutes long. I probably won't film the entire process, but I'll try my best to do it. And I'll try to be a little bit faster now, so that this video isn't really long. Alright, so I got the zip tie in place. And I'm just going to put his arm just like that. Grab the zip tie. Oh, it came out. There we go. Now it's in there. I forgot to put more polyfill. Crap. In the shoulder. See, I just goofed. No, don't do that. Come on. Okay. See, this whole process of doing this takes a lot. Alright, so his arm can freely move, but it's secure and in place. So I can cut this. And then I'll just use the clippers, nail clippers, so I can trim it down a little closer. Okay, so the head, body, and one arm is done. Now I gotta do the remaining, but you guys get the point of the video, and you get the point on what to do and how to do it. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna finish him, and then I'm going to work on something else. So I will see you guys in the next one. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Click that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.